Were you following a recipe yesterday?
Yeah. I was following, I would call it a methodology more than a recipe, which is the well-established cultural methodology for making Rice Krispie squares. You have the butter, you melt the butter, then you add the marshmallows. They start to melt. You can add some vanilla extract, which I think is optional. And then you add the Rice Krispie squares, and then that's how you make them.
At what point of time did you think the recipe went, or the execution went out of hand?
Okay, honestly, I felt like the marshmallows melted so quickly. Like, they melted so fast, and I just felt like the whole thing was going too fast for me. Oh, this is going so much faster than I thought it would. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's moving too fast. Things are moving too fast. When I added the sprinkles and the color started melting, oh, the blue looks so bad. What do I do with this finger? Just eat it? I wanted to turn back. If I could turn back time. Hi friends, welcome to my video. This week I am sharing a Valentine themed video. I got it in my head to make some Rice Krispie treats, and I thought that I would make them for Valentine's Day, even though I don't really like Valentine's Day. Pranav has never eaten a Rice Krispie treat, so I was very well intentioned when I set out to make these. However, the execution was anything but perfect. The end product was delicious, so I'm still going to show you how I made them, but I'm also going to point out what not to do in case you give this a try. I went to my local dollar store and picked up a couple things to make these treats, some heart-shaped cookie cutters, some Smarties, and some sprinkles. I wanted to get all Valentine themed everything, but there were no Valentine sprinkles left and no Valentine Smarties either. I know there's a box that has the pink and red Smarties, but I had to settle for regular Smarties and then pick out the colors that I wanted to use. I decided to use purple as well, so Rumi and I separated all of the colors, and we were able to get enough. Depending on the recipe that you're following, actual Rice Krispie squares only have 3 or 4 ingredients. There's the cereal, butter, vanilla extract, which is optional, and the marshmallows. All of the ingredients, including my extra ingredients, are going to be listed down below with the measurements for you if you think you want to try your hand at this. The first thing you have to do is coat a large pan with butter, margarine, or cooking spray and then set it aside. Then add some butter to a large pot and wait for the butter to melt. My little cooktop is inefficient, so it takes forever. I didn't measure the amount of butter that I intended to use, so I just added it to the pot and waited for what seemed like sufficient butter to melt, and then removed the unmelted excess butter. Once the butter is melted in your pot, go ahead and add the marshmallows and stir them until they are completely melted. I just want to warn you that this may happen faster than you are expecting it to happen. At some point, if you are using vanilla extract, go ahead and add it, but as I mentioned, that is completely optional. And then just keep stirring this until those marshmallows are completely melted. It will happen, as I said, very quickly. Next, it's time to add the cereal. And if you are using sprinkles, do not add them now. They should be sprinkled on top after you transfer the treats to a pan. This right here is a mistake because as I combine the cereal with the marshmallows, you're going to see that the sprinkles are melting and the color is actually discoloring the Rice Krispies. I didn't know what to do, so I just removed them from the element and started offloading them into the pan that I had buttered. Everything happened so quickly that I felt like I couldn't even stop at this point, so I just transferred the cereal to a pan, tried to smooth it as best as I could. It was like being on autopilot, even though I have never done this before. We're like so past the point of no return. Things kind of got better when I added the Smarties. Oh, flatten it down a bit. That seems to be working. I confidently attempted to extract the Rice Krispie squares with the cookie cutters. In retrospect, that could have gone better. Oh, maybe you're supposed to wait for it to cool completely before doing this?
What are the recipes?
What recipe?
There must be a recipe.
Yeah, it's more like, I would say it exists in my mind.
Have you eaten it before? Have you made it before?
I ate it in my childhood. You know what? We've come too far. I figured that as long as I could extract enough treats and then reshape them on the plate, I would have enough to take a few pictures and get the necessary footage for this video, and I was not entirely wrong.
What do you want from me? What do you want from me?
Well, that's it, friends. Give me a thumbs up out of pity at the very least, and I will see you next week with something more successful. Happy Valentine's Day.
We're here at Le Gourmand.
There is my missus picking up some viennoiserie from La Gourmand Bakery. Chivalry is not lost.
That's a pistachio. I'll keep this in the front with me, but this is a chai latte.
Yes.
And then we have the two salty ones.
Beautiful.
'Cause I demand my own salty one.
Of course you do. You and I just living life.
Living life.